Greetings and welcome back to Unbiased Magic Reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at Bondage by Dr. Cyril Thomas. Now, Dr. Thomas is a PhD in psychology as well as a well-known magician known for his Rubberband Magic. Now, he's put out a lot of projects over the years. You've probably seen them, maybe you've picked up a few of them, like Faith Hacker, Space Bander, the list goes on and on. He's put out quite a bit of stuff. His Rubberband Magic is usually hyper visual, very quick, pretty good on the angles. I like his magic, and for $10 you can pick up this 23-minute instructional download where you're going to learn basically 3 effects, 3 main moves that you can incorporate into your magic rubber band routine that you do already now. So as usual, I'm going to give you guys my impressions. I'm going to answer those questions you probably have about this, just give you a good idea of what you can expect here. So I really like this a lot. I would probably rate this 4 out of 5. The only reason I don't rate it 5 out of 5 is because it's not really a full routine. It's really small effects that you can add to an existing rubber band routine. For that reason, I don't think that it's superior. I think it's good, and I think anyone who's into rubber band magic is going to like it a lot, especially if you do other moves with rubber bands that look similar. You can add it to that to make a more complete routine. But here you're basically going to learn 3 quickies that you can add to your repertoire, but you're really not going to learn a full routine. I think it's priced right for what you get, and I think it's something you should consider if you're into rubber band magic. So I liked it a lot, and it wasn't too difficult to learn. I would rate it as probably intermediate level in terms of difficulty. And the only other issue is that I think that you definitely need to have those rubber bands that Joe Rindfleisch put out, which was these rubber bands that were the Elastroflex rubber bands. And the reason is because these slide through your fingers really easily, and they stretch really far and don't break. If you try to do this magic with just regular rubber bands, it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible. So that's the reason why I rated that. So let's get into some questions you probably have about this. So Dr. Thomas mentions that he was inspired with this idea of an effect that his mom showed him when he was a kid, where she took a string and wrapped it around her fingers and then pulled the string through her fingers. Now, when I envision this, I think of an effect that I learned with a string, which is the old cutting off the fingers, where you lace the string around your fingers and then you pull it through your fingers. And that is the basic idea that he had in his mind when he came up with this project, because each of the effects is basically the rubber band escaping after you interlace it around your fingers. What are the 3 main routines? Let's take a look at each of these. The first one is called the progressive bondage, and this was my favorite effect out of the 3. It'll probably be yours. You interlace the rubber band around your fingers twice, and then you visually show how it's going to escape from each finger one at a time, nice and slowly. Now, I would say that this is intermediate level to learn. It'll take you probably about 20 minutes to learn how to do it, and it's a lot of fun. And then after that, you'll be doing it like crazy. I think it's good on the angles, and I liked it a lot. This was my favorite piece on there, and I think that if you do any other type of interlace type effect, then I think you're gonna like this a lot, because it's gonna go really well with that. For instance, when I did that review on Brendan Rodriguez's DVD called Visualize, you may remember this. I showed this interlace effect that he came up with. It really goes well with that, because you can, interlace rubber bands around your fingers immediately, and then you can use this as like a next progression to it, showing how you can make the rubber band escape from each finger one at a time slowly if you want to. So that's an example of how you could use this together with another rubber band effect to come up with a more complete routine. Now, the second effect that you're going to learn is called the Bondage Vanish, And in this effect, what you're basically doing is, again, you're wrapping the rubber band around all your fingers, except now you're taking a second rubber band, which is a different color. You're wrapping it around the top of your fingers, almost like as if it's a guard or a fence to prevent the other rubber band from escaping. And then by just turning your hand, a little shake, the rubber band that was interlaced around your fingers is now gone. It just literally vanishes. Now, this is really good if you do any other type of rubber band penetration type effects. And to give you guys just a quick example of what I mean, there's this old effect that even lay people know, where you wrap a rubber band around two fingers, and then you take a second rubber band of a different color and you wrap it around all of them like this, and basically you tell them, look, check this out. If I have the rubber band around these two fingers and I just give it a little shake, it has penetrated and gone through the fingers. So a lot of lay people I show that to, they know the effect, they know how it's done. So they're like, oh yeah, I know how that's done. And sometimes they know how to do it, which is nice because now you can take it one step further. You can do that Bondage Vanish, where again, you're wrapping the rubber band around your fingers like twice, and you're even using the second rubber band as a guard, and still the rubber band not just does it escape, but it's gone. And that leads us into the third effect that's taught here. The third effect, which is called Thumbdage. And the real big difference of that is that the Thumbdage effect, what it's really nice about it is that you show the rubber band here and you're wrapping it around. And the nice thing is here, you could really show the rubber band completely here. You could take the second rubber band and you wrap it around your fingers here, again, just like this. And here you could show the rubber band and it's really around your fingers. And the nice thing about it is just a little shake, and now, not only has it escaped, but now it's on your thumb right there. So that's kind of another effect that you can add if you can do that. If you do the other effect where the rubber band penetrates through your fingers or whatever, that's something else you can add to it. So I would say that the second effect and the third effect are super easy. You'll learn those in like 5 minutes. They were extremely easy to learn. The first effect, which was the progressive bondage, was a little harder. That may take you a few more minutes to learn, but overall, it's not that difficult. It's nothing out of this world, which is kind of nice about that. So other questions that you guys may have about this is, how are the angles? The angles are really good. On that third effect, you can actually show your hand all around like I was showing you guys, so that's kind of a nice thing. In terms of the teaching, Dr. Thomas goes over each of these three effects really slowly, meticulously. It's very easy to understand him, even though English is not his first language. It's still really easy to follow him because he goes really slowly over the moves. So you'll pick this up really quickly. And then finally, what are the negatives? The negatives of this project is probably, like I said to you guys, that you need to have these Elastroflex rubber bands to really be able to perform this easily. And the only other negative really is that this is not a full routine. Instead, it's just really like 3 little miniature effects that you can add to any existing routine that you already do. So that's pretty much what I would tell you guys. I think anyone who's into Rubberband Magic is definitely going to like this. I wouldn't hesitate to rate it as 4 out of 5. I think it's great. I like it a lot. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I do recommend it to those of you that are into Rubberband Magic. As usual, if you have any questions about this or anything else I review, just leave me a comment below. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.